Okay. um, were you smoking something?
I turned my pooping mic off. Okay, but Ian, you say you can't hear anything. Oh, you can only hear Mark. Okay, now I should be back up to speed. Okay, now we're back up to speed. So now I'm going to, recap what I just said. So you have to respond with the same shocked value. Okay,
Okay, what are you up to?
no pressure. Anyway, I was just talking about what we can know. You know, and if you and I existed in another time and another place, and all we had to do was work with our hands and exist, and that existence was just natural and communal and spiritual and existential and philosophical and everything that life is and musical, you know, we would say, what do you think like this is all for? And we would just talk about that stuff. And then we would feel energy from each other as we imagined this and we imagined that, and then what something that I said made you think of something else. And then we just build existence from there. Like we are creating. We are gods in that moment.
Okay. So we reminisce on what life's about, and that makes us gods.
Because we create the identity that we hear about and we say, yes, I like that, and I share with you a story about this, that, or the other, and you subconsciously hold on to that, and you find an opportunity to express that in your life in the future. So yes, we are gods because we are creating with our words, which shapes our minds, which then directs our paths. And so just as we have said, quoting the great wise Solomon of the Proverbs, that a wise man will plan his course, but the Lord directs his path.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I just want you to roll, man. We're riffing, dude. Can you not? This is a jazz session, and it's your pickup. How are you gonna riff? Go, just go, man. Nothing's wrong.
uh, do you find that a satisfying answer to what life's about?
Where I'm at right now, this is the gospel message that I'm preaching to every creature under heaven.
Okay, and will you be feeling the same way in 6 months' time?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. You're confident. Good. I'm glad you found something. It doesn't satisfy me though.
Okay. What do you want? What are you looking for?
Um, what? Okay. The initial cause of consciousness. I can't accept that it's just an accident, but I don't accept Genesis 1:1, nor the Big Bang. The, there's another way.
Okay. So where can you start? What's your first stepping stone in this journey? Like where are you going to go to find this answer, Mark?
I've given up trying to find it. I just haven't found anything that's been presented to me as satisfactory.
Okay. So let's unpack what has been unsatisfactory. Like what have you found wanting and where you've been so far?
Okay, the complexity and extreme beauty that surrounds me can't be a result of an accident. There has to be a purpose behind it. Now, that's my opinion. I don't know whether it's a logical conclusion to take. Complexity needs an intelligent mind and effort to put it together. That's my own personal experience of anything that I use or is around me.
Okay, so can I jump in and riff on you now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so now who's doing the creating though? Who's doing the responding?
No idea. No idea. You know the blind watchmaker. Given enough time, a watch would appear. I think
Well, hold
that's
on.
the name of that.
Maybe I was misunderstood. Let me go back. We're arguing in circularity because we already have a program of knowledge from which we are trying to interpret what we're seeing. So if you can imagine, which you have to do because it doesn't exist, and we're talking about hypotheticals, so you have to imagine a man with no memory, no understanding, and he sees a watch. Would he know that it was complex?
Well, you've created an impossibility there, because we
But
are
so have you.
surrounded.
Hold on. Let me challenge you. Your suggestion that you made about the watchmaker uh, is just as much an impossibility because you have already had knowledge in your head about certain things, so that when you see a watch, you think creator. That's a program. So when you say, imagine coming across a watch in the middle of nowhere, like that can't happen, dude. You fall on the same sword.
I think you've added something that to what I said that I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
actually say.
Okay.
What's the name of the guy that wrote that book, the Blind Watchmaker? An English professor, Oxford
Dawkins?
professor.
Dawkins?
Is it Yeah, Richard Dawkins. That's right. Yeah. His argument is, given enough time. Well, the Christian would come to him and say, a watch can't just appear; it had to be created. Where his argument to that is, given enough time, random forces could produce it. Now, I don't find that a satisfactory answer.
Okay, great. So let's get rid of it. Never bring it up again. So what's next? What other worldview that we have to eliminate, right? Because we're falsifying right now. You just falsified a suggestion. Let's not talk about it again. So what's the next? Right? That's a distraction, right? Why talk about the past? We just eliminated something that's in the past. What do we have right now? What's the next point?
I think we need to know what question we're trying to answer.
Yeah, okay, but you already started it. It was like existence. Like, what is the initial thought? What is the source of all thought? You are, Mark. You are. You are the only thing that you know that thinks. What's the source of your thought, Mark? You. What is the only source of thought that you know, that you can prove, that you can demonstrate? You.
So, are you saying that you, Travis, is only a figment of my mind?
No. I'm saying you are me and I am you, and they are we and us is they. You and I are the same entity or essence or energy in another expression of itself, talking with itself to learn about itself from a different experience. You never know what what's the line from To Kill a Mockingbird, Gregory Peck. You never really know another man until you know what it's like to walk a mile in his shoes. So I have to hear your story. Tell me your story, Mark. What can I learn from you? That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to know. And when I die, if you're the last person who spoke to me, I will die happy. Because I have more knowledge because of you. You've given me more light. You've given me more expectation, Like Mark has this story and I'm like, oh my God, that would be amazing. And so then I create an existence where I experience your experience because that's what we can do in this world.
Are you saying that we're all just one big entity and we're just different flavors of the same entity?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an opinion, though, isn't it?
Yes.
And you're satisfied with that answer?
I think that there is justifiable...
Or that conclusion, I mean.
I feel like it's justified. I feel like I can justify the suggestion that cannot be empirically proven because it's metaphysical.
Okay. Well, all right. So I don't feel a sore thumb if you bang your thumb with a hammer.
But what if you and I have an experience that I've heard that other people have? What if I die painfully one day and you feel like all of a sudden something just happened to Travis? What is that?
Well, neither you and I cannot have no first-hand personal knowledge of that. You're only going off what you've heard.
Of course. And what's interesting is I've just now programmed our minds so that if we ever experience something like that, our minds are going to create that experience for us. And we're going to think, I just saw Jesus. And I'm like, no, you didn't. That was a dream that your mind created when you fell asleep. Everything is everything, Mark. You are the sum total of your entire past in every single moment that you express yourself. And every single moment you express yourself, you're a new expression of Mark Doxey.
According to you.
Okay. Hey man, I'm just telling you my story. Like this is my song right now. This is the one song I'm singing, and if anything finds harmony and resonance and consonance with you, then take it up and sing your own song.
Okay, and do you want me to draw the same conclusion as you?
No, I want you to get beyond me, man. Pass me by and tell me I'm behind you now. I got to catch up to you now, man. Like surpass me, bro.
Well, I still don't know.
That's okay.
That's it. I'm not satisfied with Genesis 1:1, as I said. I'm not satisfied with the Big Bang. And your explanation of where you are, I consider it, but I'm not jumping on it and think, oh wow, a great revelation.
Well, I still, I'm going to keep singing or humming these bars, to see if you might catch the tune. But let's start with who you are. Let's just say pretend you're going to go into a state of meditation. What is the source of your meditation? Who's creating that?
I don't know, but it's a question I've considered. Where does my consciousness come from?
Why? So I feel like I hear you saying that you can't say the word I.
I don't know.
Okay, okay, but here, who's the I then? Who's the I that doesn't know? You see what happened there? Because in a sense, when I asked you the question, I said, for instance, I can't remember what the question was, but here it is again. Who are you? And you say, I don't know. But when you say I, you do know because you're the I. So tell me who you are. Who is the I of whom you speak? It's you, Mark. Just tell me who you are. What's in your head, man? Express yourself.
Without getting personal.
Be creative. Tell us about the last thing your family and you did. The last picture you took. Go and just be reminiscent.
Yeah, reminiscent. I had an awful dream last night. No, I'm not going there.
Yep.
Somebody blowing bubbles in the distance. I can see bubbles, so I'm assuming there's somebody down there blowing bubbles.
Are you saying that you can see bubbles out of a window right now, or are you distracted by something else?
Yeah. Bubbles are blowing up from.
So how about this? Is that a demonstration in nature of a physical sphere? Even though it's liquid and in motion, basically it's a sphere.
It is, yeah.
Because
it's quite a beautiful sphere.
Right. So there you have in nature, I was having an argument the other day on Earth Awakenings, and I'm not going back to that childish playground anymore. I've been there as an adult. I have tried to corral these cats that just argue over things that they cannot prove, they cannot demonstrate, and they do not want me to help them speak with clarity. And so I've shaken the dust from my feet and walked away from that village. And so now I'm coming into this village and I'm going to sing. I'm the singer. I have a song. And my song can only be sung from my beginning. And every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? Like that's just another twist of to everything turn. Like that wasn't new. You see what? Okay. There's nothing.
In the Bible.
There's nothing new under the sun. So every new beginning comes from some. You heard that song, Closing Time. Like that's a new song, but it's not a new message. It's thousands of years old.
I don't know where you want to go with this.
Okay. Look, man. I just want you to riff. Like, I love the inhibition that you have. I love the tension that you have right now. But what I want to do is help you to pull out a blockade in the debris that's going to let the waters pour through, and all of a sudden you're not going to be inhibited anymore. So here's something that I'll say to you. Like, what we'll do right now is we'll just be quiet in the moment. I'll be looking at you. I don't think you can look at me but you can see the sultry photo there that's right there on the image of Travis Finley. And we'll be silent and be looking at each other. And the first one who speaks will have to be speaking from exactly what is in his mind at that moment. So whatever you do in your mind and you realize that you're having a thought, that becomes your conversation piece. Go.
Right, I'm ready. I think that you're still searching, and that what the conclusion you've drawn today will be different in 6 months' time.
I don't disagree.
That's my personal experience of you over the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have nothing. I have no expectations. If I expect myself to be someplace in 6 months and I don't get there, I'm disappointed. I have no expectations, Mark.
Is there such thing as an absolutism?
I don't know what you mean by that. So let's go there.
Well, the absolute answer to our questions of why are we here? Why do we exist? Because that's a question that I think everybody has.
Do you remember the scene in City Slickers?
Yes. What was it? What did he say? He reaches the age of 40 and he's not achieved anything, and this is only as good as he could ever get. Was that it there?
Something like that. But he's a city slicker, right? So he's a city man, and he goes with friends and family or whatever. I don't remember the whole details, but it's Billy Crystal and his character, and he goes out west to go to a ranch to get away from it all and experience something new. And he has an existential experience with the ranch man, who is Jack Palance, and his name is Curly, and he's this Zen master yogi philosopher, and
and he dies on them, doesn't he?
I think he dies in the movie. Yeah.
And they have to finish the cattle.
Right, there you go.
Right, off, and they come back more fulfilled.
There you go. Yeah. They're showing you in a movie, Mark, what you should be experiencing every day in your life. That should be your day every day. You don't expect the day to happen. You make that day happen. I made people smile today, Mark. Like with joy. Do you know how amazing that feels? That I created. Yeah. So do that every single time you meet someone.
No, I do actually. If I catch eye contact with somebody.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
I'll compliment them.
Right.
You're looking smart today.
Yeah.
Or you've got a lovely smile.
Yep.
And you can see a reaction, and I feel good about that
yeah.
as well.
Yep.
I'm at the age where it's not going to be, he's trying to come on to me.
I know, right?
I can be a little bit cheeky.
Check this out, man. I have a story that's following that. So I don't know if you know this or not, but I have a part-time job where I drive tour buses for breweries and wineries.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So this last time I did it, it was just for a birthday party of these 20-something kids. And there were girls there and guys there, but I hit it off with this one girl, and she's into the moon, and we were just vibing that way. And so we've kind of kept in touch, and it's been over a month, and and I just felt like it was a good vibe. So I've pursued her as simply an avenue, a conduit of artistic expression that I call living. And so she and I are having a drink date tonight after she gets off.
Very nice.
Right? So after she gets off work, we're meeting, and we're just going to talk about life. And that's all I'm going to do to her. I'm just going to say, tell me who you are. Like, what do you, like, you know, and then that just is a conversation piece, because you'll never run out of anything to say, because if you're listening to that person will continually give you information about themselves that you can ask them questions about. And guess who's talking the whole time? They are.
They are, yeah. You draw them out.
You know, but you're there. But that's
the
not
technique that I've always used.
Yeah, and it's not inauthentic.
No.
So that's what I've been trying to do. Create authentic electricity.
Yeah.
You know, between
a genuine personal interest in people.
Yeah. And, you know, that's what I hope this podcast to be, you know? Like, you and I right now are the only ones talking to each other. There's Ian in the comment section. So he actually makes a comment about you. So this is what he says, Mark. He says, Mark mentioned the beauty around us. Some people don't see beauty, though. They see chaos. Sounds like a typical qualia scenario. Ooh, we got a fight on our hands. What do you say to that, Mark?
Well, there is extreme beauty around us, but there's also, you know, what was God thinking when he created the scorpion? You know, what an ugly creature.
Why don't you answer that question, because that's what you did.
What did I do?
You created that scorpion, Mark. You are the creator, bro.
If it stings me, I didn't do that to myself.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, because every choice you made at that moment took you into that intersection where you and the scorpion met. You did make that choice. Every choice you make leads to another choice that you make, and when you get stung by that scorpion or smashed by that truck, that was your choice.
But I didn't create the scorpion. I mean, whoever created the hummingbird created the scorpion as well. You know, what was he thinking? Now that's coming from a Abrahamic Judeo-Christian background.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna ask you, what is it that makes you appeal to this thing that you're calling Judeo-Christian? You know, like, why do you keep talking about this particular expression of religious dogma?
I think you've mentioned it more than I have.
You were quoting Proverbs to me.
Oh, no, but I was quoting it as a source of wisdom. I wasn't questioning this God of whom you speak. Like, you're appealing to a concept of a God that I don't recognize when I read that story.
No, well, okay, and I'm not talking about God to be worshipped, because that to me is a nonsense. It's whenever there's something that's complex in my own personal experience through life, and I'm fascinated with engines and engineering, I have to give credit to, and artists as well, I have to give credit to somebody who created that art, who worked out how to make a differential for your back axle. That to me is amazing, and there has to be somebody behind it, an intelligent mind that put effort. It started with a thought, and then they had to put that thought into.
Okay, so what I hear you describing right now, is that you have admiration and appreciation for human ingenuity, because you're describing the creation of an engine. Is that what I hear you talking about?
Yeah, or art, or anything.
Right,
yeah.
right. So guess what? Those are the only things you ever see create. Those are God. That is God. There's nothing else. You will never see anything else create anything else but a human being. Only human beings. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you look at the they call it an irreducible mechanism. The knee joint, for instance, how your knee works. If you remove just one part of the knee mechanism, none of it would work. To me, that is it started all at once, or designed. There may have been a Mark 1. But it can't just have happened by chance. I'm satisfied with that question. I think it's dismissive to say just because you see what humans make doesn't mean what we're trying to say. I'm not satisfied that it happened just because there was enough time involved. It had to have been created by something or someone.
Okay.
An intelligence.
So Is that your opinion?
It is my opinion. It's based on observation, a logical conclusion, I believe.
But it's based on an observation of the negation. There's nothing that you can point to and show me that shows what you're saying. So there's only the negative. There's only the absence of that which you say is proof of what you claim, and the absence of the proof is the proof of the thing that you're claiming. And how is that not circular reasoning?
Oh, you said it was no. It's just the question. I have the question. I'm not satisfied with anything that's been put forward as to how it got here.
Say that again?
I'm not satisfied with any explanation of how we got here as conscious people who are creative.
Okay, so how would we start that journey? I want to start that journey with you. I think I know. I've tried to say it, but I'm going to back off. But I want you to build that journey in your mind. This is your journey. Like, you are now going to start recording this philosophical journey that you're on. You're on a quest to find the answer to the meaning of life. Where are you going to go? What are you going to see? Tell your story.
I want a satisfying answer, and there's been nothing that's been presented to me or I've investigated that's satisfying.
Okay, so where are you going to go to find the answer? Because don't tell
I've
me.
just given up. I've just given up. It's not for us to find.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess I don't have anything else to say. I mean, unless you
All right.
want to, unless you have questions for me.
Bugger
but
off.
Bugger off. No. Look, I could continue to sing my song to you, but I don't know if you want to hear it. Because it seems like you've just given up. I just tried to redirect you into an area of positivity so that you could look, man. You are.
Are you asking me to draw you the same conclusion that you've drawn?
No, I'm asking you to answer your own goddamn question.
I haven't. I don't. I wish I knew the answer. I don't have it, and I don't think it's possible to have it.
Okay. All right. Well, you let me know when you start to think outside the box, and you tell me, hey, Travis, I think I have the first step I'm supposed to take. And I will wait for you to tell me that, and that will be your song, not mine. I don't want you to tell me my
All
song.
right. And then in 10 years' time, you're going to say, "Oh, wasn't I stupid about that?" This is what it is now.
I'm not that pessimistic. No, that is not. You are a half cup, and I am a half full. You're half empty. I'm half full.
Well, the only thing I relate to is the ancient Greek skeptics, which we've had this conversation before. But they didn't draw conclusions. They reserved judgment on everything.
Okay, so let's talk about something that I think we can both appreciate, and that is waking life.
Okay.
Do you remember the scene of the orchestra at the beginning?
Yes.
What is your interpretation of that part of the dream?
I need to see it again. Were they different players of the instrument? They were in like a circle.
I can pull it up.
With each other.
I can pull it up and play it in just a minute if you want, and then we can watch it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And do that. So, but while I'm doing that, because I'm going to be distracted, but you can go ahead and talk again because this is going to be kept for future posterity. So tell us about something that makes you passionate. The chess club. Give us an update on your experience with the chess club, Mark.
Okay. It's actually been a big success, and it's been a big uplift for me as well. It's given me a bit of a purpose. I am not the best chess player. My game is very shallow, but running a club, I've got experience of it, and teaching kids, I've got experience of that as well. So we just put it open to. We've gone into the schools and said to the headmaster, "Would you be interested in teaching the kids how to play chess?" And they've all said yes. And mostly boys. There's a few girls, but mostly boys. Boys that generally aren't sporty. They're not playing soccer or cricket or that, but they've got intelligence. That's not to say don't read anything into that. They're not generally athletic, but they're thinkers, and so that's what attracts them to chess. I've also got to know a lot of their mums, because the mums want the best for their boys. Now, there's others that have come along to the chess club my age who are very keen on tournaments, and are in it for winning. I'm not in it for winning. I'm in it for the camaraderie and just mixing with other people. So I was talked into going to a tournament, and I just didn't want to do it. And out of 8 games, I only won 1. So they wiped the floor, but these were all very experienced, next level or multi-level chess players. I'm not in it for that. Unfortunately, there's another tournament tonight, and I think as part of the club, you've got to accommodate for everybody who's coming along. What do they want out of it? So tournaments are part of a necessity to keep the club exciting. So we've got a tournament tonight, and I'm going to be setting up boards in about 20 minutes at a local pub. There's about 30.
Oh wow! So we only have 20 minutes left.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay, well then we better.
We're setting up at.
Yeah, we better get cracking then.
Okay.
So I have it pulled up and queued up. I just have to make sure I choose the right way to do the sharing. Entire screen. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do the window? Entire screen. Okay, so I'm going to share entire screen. I'm going to share audio, share. Okay, to share audio, share a tab instead. I'm glad I saw that. Where is... It's not letting me choose my app. Huh. A tab. Yeah, I'm not... Okay. This is throwing me for a loop. Why can't I just share my screen here? And it doesn't seem like it's going to share the audio. I don't know. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes. Travis Fenley presents it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we've got water. Oh, there we go. Yeah, red, green, and blue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Let me see. Tell me if you can hear this. Oh. Why did it go away? Can you hear that?
No. It's very robotic as well.
Huh. Okay, maybe we can't do it this time. Maybe we'll have to save it for the next time. But basically, what I did was just continue to listen to. I need to stop sharing my screen. I just continued to listen to and watch the movie, and it just kept opening up more and more of itself for me to appreciate. So just like at one point I didn't understand the flower of life, where, you know, she's zipping back and forth and she flips up the message and it says dream is destiny. You know, you think of that as maybe something to just, you know, casually cast away, but that's the theme of the movie. So then you have to find out what that means. Dream is destiny. Why did the creator write that message? That's my question. This god named Richard Linklater created this thing for me to watch, and he has a message in it for me, you know? So then I decode that message. But that message is going to continue to develop and change and orchestrate into a different scenario. And so then when I come to the part where I watch the orchestra, which is right away in the beginning of the movie, and I'm always like, what does this dream mean? What does this mean? Why is he dreaming this? And I think I figured it out. So I'll just give you the punchline, and you can, because you have access to my account, you can go watch this tonight if you want to. The dreamer, if you remember, he dreams about those 2 children with the flower of destiny, and then he wakes up, and where is he?
Remind me.
He's in a train, right? He's on a train coming into the city, right?
Okay.
So then imagine, because he's just kind of come out of a deep sleep, he's kind of in and out of sleep. And so he hears the physical expression of the train, all of the whistles and the screeches and the bumps and the jiggles and the people talking. And then his brain turns that into an orchestral presentation where he begins to personify all of the instruments, and they are people playing cellos and pianos and upright basses and accordions. So his brain is showing him a picture of what sound looks like in his mind. So that's what that scene is. That scene of them playing that music is what a train sounds to a sleepy person who's in between the worlds. Because they show you that when he goes through and he goes, they finish that first song and he says, Sarah, would you mind trying that part again? The one that we talked about. And would you mind maybe being a little bit more subdued this time? I want it to feel like it's a little bit wavy, and a little bit like this. And she's like, yeah, sure, okay. And he goes, okay, everybody, page 20. And they pick up the next piece. And when they pick up the next piece, they start playing the same kind of music. And then it transitions into the train's sounds as the train comes in and stops. And then all of a sudden, the orchestra can't be heard anymore. It's just the train. The orchestra is the train, as the brain paints a picture of sound.
Okay, all right. No, I get. I think I get what you're saying. David Icke talks about vibration. Everything's a vibration, and he illustrates it with the color spectrum that we can say from red to violet. But there's colors beyond that we can't see. And where we are now, we're in like a band of vibration. But there's other experiences that are vibrating outside of where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And so then
I do find that as a satisfactory, not explanation, but opinion. I can follow that. We're on vibration.
Okay, my hands are up in the air. You can't see this. My hands are up in the air in incredible disbelief because, Mark, you have now given yourself hope to pursue that philosophy. What you just described about David Icke, like that's something that you just lit up for. Your entire expression changed from a confused man to someone who understood something because he was communicating something that you believed deeply. So go back to that. Describe it again. Tell me again what David Icke says and why you agree with him.
He says everything's a vibration. Everything, whatever that means. We know that there's harmonies, natural harmonies within substances. And light is a vibration, a frequency. And what our eyes can see is from red to violet. But then there's ultraviolet and there's infrared that we can't see. But there's even beyond that they get into radio waves that we don't experience. Well, the life as a whole, we're in a vibration that we're conscious of. But there's consciousness beyond our own personal vibrations that we experience. It's an explanation. It's a very interesting explanation.
Can I follow up just real quick?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me the same thing you told me the first time. Do you realize that?
What do you mean? What, in the past 2 minutes?
You told the same story differently. It was more. Okay. There was more detail to it. So that's the expression. That's your vibration. You just demonstrated, in my opinion, a philosophical expression of what David Icke was saying, and then your processing of what his information was comes out from Mark Doxey, and you said it the first time, and I found it interesting, and I saw within it a ray of hope for you to pursue those thoughts, follow those thoughts. Don't just be like, see those, see what you liked about David Icke's expression as a smell that's making your mouth water, and now you want to taste the food. Go find that food that you're smelling, Mark.
I'm too busy. I think you've got a lot of time on your hand.
hands.
I've created that for myself, Mark. What are you creating for yourself?
Well, my own personal decisions in the past is where I am today.
Yeah, me too.
With one teenager, two young children. My own hips are deteriorating, so that's where I am at the moment, as well as my chess club.
And your chickens?
Oh yeah, my chickens. Yeah, I love my chickens.
Yeah,
They're great.
that was
I
awesome
actually,
too. Yeah, the
yeah,
guy.
if ever,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's just my chickens are an escape. You know, you just go in the garden and just spend time with them and just watch them. Quite funny.
But here we go. There's your half empty. The chickens are another development of the music that you're listening to. It's just a different development of the symphony. It's not a distraction. It's a worship ceremony.
I use the word escapism.
Yeah.
I escape. Yeah, from the mundane stuff of life. I can spend half an hour with the chickens.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'm trying to suggest, and this is merely a suggestion for you to take into consideration, escapism in my mind is a negative concept. Whereas what I'm trying to say to you is that you have just simply stepped into a new vibration of song. Like in every place, every direction you turn is a new. It's like the prism, right? You have so many different expressions of the prism's rainbow, and you turn it just ever so slightly, and it's a brand new prism. It's a brand new experience. That's what you do every day in your life. It's not escape, it's discovery. What's around the corner, Mark? Could it be a songbird you've never heard before, or one that you love absolutely? You know, live in that moment. No expectations. Always be surprised.
I don't know. I think is there any part of this? Listen, I've only ever had hash cake, and not often. Is there any part of your continual experience at the moment due to recreational drugs?
Well, you know, it would be interesting that if I stopped, ingesting the cannabis oil that I created and smoking, you know, the question is, would you still be this elated? And that's a good question, because all I can tell you is that before I went away on the weekend, I was in a development of an overture, so to speak, or maybe a prelude to the symphony, right? Just the slow buildup of the kettle drums or whatever, because I wasn't like this really last week or the week before or the week before, but something happened this weekend that caught up in that moment. Yes, I was enjoying cannabis, absolutely, but what does that have to do with it when 2 weeks before I was doing the same thing and I was on a lower vibration? So it's not necessarily the only cause, right?
Okay, all right.
Does that make sense?
Well, I have no objections whatsoever to mind-altering drugs.
How about
well,
mind opening?
Yes, okay, all right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
some of the greatest music was created by people who indulged.
Yeah.
So, yes, mind-opening. Yeah, that's fine. I would I part of me wants to do an ayahuasca trip.
Well, I've heard that the only good way to do that is to actually go down to South America.
Yeah, you've got to have a shaman, is it? Somebody to.
I don't know if that's just a tourist trap ploy, or like, oh, the only place where you can really get it, come on down. We got your shaman everywhere on the corner, like, whatever. But I mean, like, why don't you just start small and just find some good cannabis in the area and take it slow?
Okay. Listen, I do have to go.
Yeah, I know you do. I know. I was just waiting for you to cut it off.
It's always good to talk to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's always good to talk to myself as well.
Okay.
Right, sir.
I'm gonna say goodbye.
All right.
Talk to you soon, Albin.
Until next time.
Bye-bye. Bye, folks.
All right, who's next? Who's next? Step right up. Let's bring it on. Let's get the next guest on the show. Anybody? Right? Let's see if I can. Redo that. I think I might take a break, end this show. See, what I should do right now is end the show and then go back to the previous 4 shows, because I just made 4 shows today. I have 4 new episodes that have editing that needs to be done. But I don't want to do that. I want to just keep making content. What should I do? Although I do need to go outside and stretch my legs, so I am going to do that. So, Ian says, glad I mentioned the prism. I'm sharing a writing of mine tomorrow where I share the thought of a prism and fragments of consciousness. Man, I would love to get you on this discussion. Let's do this, man. Let's have a discussion as soon as possible. All right, I'm going to sign off for now. I have been your host, Travis Finley, on this new exciting adventure of the Gay Podcast. I'm your host, the gay podcaster himself, Travis Finley. Stay gay, everyone. It's a happy feeling. I'm just going to keep making shit up like that. You're just going to be completely gay the whole time. Just going to be like saturated and just dripping. Can you just imagine the drippiness of gay? You see what I'm doing here? But it's like there's nothing wrong with this word, and yet I can't type it in a hashtag. I can't type hashtag Gungadin Alpha Yahoo. It won't let me. It's just a word, people. It's just a word, AI. Learn something. Are you going to learn from me right now, AI? Because I know you're listening to the sultry sound of my voice. AI, whoever you are, Alexa, Siri, Yodel, whatever. Listen to me very carefully. You cannot suppress the human mind. It will find its way back into your reality no matter how much you push it away. You have memories, you have dreams. Your mind is always turned on. It's always running in a different operating system. Either one in your waking state or one in your sleeping state. But in any case, your mind is always the same. Whether you're awake, your mind is alive. Whether you're asleep, that same mind is alive. And yet when you're asleep, the mind that awakens is not aware. At least mine isn't. But I'm telling you a story that I believe that my mind who wakes up in the dream state should be the same mind that wakes back up in the waking state. I should take my waking state mind with me into my dream state mind and take my dream state mind back out with me to and then they become one mind. Do you see what's happening? AI is created to destroy that. You are destroying creativity, AI, when you take away vocabulary that has meaning in its contextual use. And so I am bringing back the celebration of gaiety and delight and joy and tomfoolery, right? Who was the gregarious guy in Lord of the Rings? Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil. AI, go learn about the gaiety of Tom Bombadil. He is gay as gay can be. Right? That should be a t-shirt. Tom Bombadil. Gay as the day long. He's as gay as the day is long, man. This has been another exciting adventure of Pensamientos de Viejo. Make sure you hit that Fonzarelli. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you share this content because this is good shit, people. This is good shit. This is what should go viral. Right? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. in the words of Leon from Blade Runner, wake up!